So this is a guide to assist you with buying a boat, whether it's your first boat or your second boat. This is we're literally just going to talk through 5 boats, and we're going to pick out the good things about it and identify the bad things about it. I've bought 2 boats in my time, so I know a little bit about it, what goes through someone's mind, and it's just looking for the good things and the good indicators that you're not making too bad a mistake or a horrendous mistake, or I want you to make a good, positive sort of purchase. So let's just look at this first boat here. So this is a UK boat. This is what they call the Orcadian 23. It's been around for quite a while. Orkney, good manufacturer, good boat. Now, first thing, when I look at a boat, when I'm actually going to buy it, I'm looking at the full package. And this is something which I'm going to be buying, and I'd like to think that it's going to be put to sea. Pretty much, the owner is selling that as a turnkey, as if it was brand new. Okay, it's 20 years old, 24 years old, whatever the hell it is. But he's selling it as if he was out in it. Last summer, or he's had it serviced, and it's all singing, all dancing. That's how I would perceive as purchasing a boat and what I would be looking for. So, the first thing I wanted, the second thing, we'll go for the engine, the hull, all those bits and pieces. So we'll start with the boat itself for a start. Now, straight away, I can see, looking at this photograph, there's a fairly new canopy on that. That's obviously you want to go around and visit the boat and have a good inspection. You're going to do all that. But when you're initially sort of selecting a boat for preview or to go and visit, these are the good things I'm sort of trying to pull out of an inspection, really. So, okay, it's got a good canopy there. So that's a good sign. The customer's been investing some money into it. He's got a canopy on the actual engine itself, which is good. On his trailer, he's got like a side rail thing there to help it in and off the trailer. Not all trailers have that. That's good thought. Whether that was him, whether he's only had it for a couple of years, or whether this is a boat he's had all his life. You want to try and identify how long he's had it, the reasons why he's flicking it on, all these sort of things. So obviously, you want to get a hull survey done, or you want your friend to come with you and have a good inspection. I usually find that if the owner, I feel, is a good person, or he's he's just like a genuine sort of person. I mean, you'll go to his house, you'll see his seems a bit silly, but you look at what status they are, whether he's a con man, or whether he's a genuinely nice person, or whether he's flicked you his email and he's a director of an insurance company or whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? There's positive things you can pull from when you first interact with the person you're going to buy off, and I say those things need to be in a positive format, your gut needs to be feeling that this is a genuine buy. I'm not just going to give this guy a load of money, he's going to disappear off into the sunset. So there's all these sort of things you need to factor in. This boat in particular is, if you're buying something like it brand new, I mean, they do an Orcadian 24 with a similar size engine, and they're looking at £30,000-40,000, and that's virtually the same hull. So do you know what I'm saying? There's things, if you're into sea fishing, there's things you can sort of there's cheaper options out there. So this one in particular is a real interesting one, because it's an outboard. That's quite common, but it's the engine is a 115. So for a boat that size, that's a good engine, but that's not a big engine, I would say. More a boat that size probably want 150 or something like that. But in particular, that engine. That has done, I think, 850 hours. Now that's actually quite a lot. So that signals that was probably the first engine which came with it, or it may have been, swapped over after a few years. So it's done quite a lot of hours. Now I do know that they can go to like 1,000, 1,500 if you do look after them. They do need looking after. It's 4-stroke, so it's never ran out of oil or anything like that. So looking at this boat, its electronics, the general quality of the boat, it's a pretty good package. Apart from the engine, which is a bit old and done a lot of hours. So you've got to weigh up the fact of, when will I be replacing the engine? The money I'm parting with it. You've got all these sort of things to consider. So you're stuck with the the owner's asking price, or nearest offer or offers. I mean, I'll be brutally honest, it's dependent on how much you want it and how cheeky you want to be with them. Obviously, if you really put it in go $5,000 under or something like that, for whatever reason, you've got to be able to back it up and explain to him why you're asking that, because you don't want to piss him off so much that he might turn around and say, well, you ain't buying it off me, mate, because you've upset me. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you do really want it, you've got to be prepared to sort of be, tactful on how you sort of deal and, work with the owner. So I would sort of do it very, negotiate very gently, a stage at a time, and feel your way. Don't just dive in straight away and just say, right, I reckon that's worth, $5,000 less, You want to just see what he's like, do you know what I'm saying? And just ease in gently, because you don't want to get to a standoff where he's just like shuts the door on you and just says, you don't want that, especially when it's quite a nice item. So this one has a spare engine, that's a good thing, electronics. So, what you want to do, obviously, you can go visit lots of different boats, but for me, you can do you can fine tune a lot of your workings probably online and really pinpoint a boat that, yes, I'm prepared on the information I've got, that's the one I'm going for. So yeah, on that. Also on this one, what I would just say, the trailer there, he says there's a fault with the trailer. Now, that's not a good thing. I think it's the brakes. And he's talking about he would be tempted to do a part exchange or swap with another boat with a trailer. This, that, and that. I noticed he said the brakes aren't working or something like that. Now, me personally, if I was the owner of this boat and I'm looking to flick it on, you really want the boat in a position where it can be taken away quite easily. Do you know what I'm saying? So straight away, he's sort of parking some sort of headaches with you. And for me, that's a little bit bizarre, because you only got to think to yourself what you would be like as an owner, and how would you want to, for me, if I'm selling something or if I'm owning something, I want it to be working full time. So if he's saying like the trailer is not quite up to scratch, and he's prepared to flick it on, there might be other items on the boat which aren't quite working or need a lot of money spent, i.e. the engine. For me, the engine is old, it's done a lot of hours, and really, if you were buying that boat with an 850 hours on it, you want some sort of a mechanic to come with you and just do some sort of a little test or a little, and just sort of say, how much is it going to cost? Do you know what I'm saying? You don't want the cost of a 115 engine brand new is a lot of money. You could probably get a second-hand one from somewhere, but you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of money, so you really want to sort of corner him down to what the boat is actually worth. So he's saying here he serviced the engine fairly recently himself with engine oil and filter gear oil and seals and water impeller. So he'd done all that. He's saying the engine runs well with 850 hours. So he's sort of saying that it's a good engine and it's renowned for being bulletproof. So it cruises around 16 knots with a top end of 23 knots. I'd probably say that's about right. Honda 8 horsepower electric start, serviced by him as well, with new oil and filter gear oil and seal plugs, water impellers again. It's 3 30-litre fuel tanks, so unfortunately this boat doesn't come with an underfloor petrol tank. So he's got 90 litres there, which isn't huge, but it's not small either. So, yeah, and it says here, as there are times 2 50-litre inbuilt fuel tanks under the seat, which can be reinstated very easily. So there's some disused tanks already in the boat. For some reason, he's not rigged it up with those, which I find bizarre, because that would be just a lot easier to do that. So he's got some nice electronics, look, colour plotter, UK charts, colour fish finder, rain marine autopilot, new electric anchor winch fitted last week, operated from the helm. So why would you fit a new electric anchor winch within the last week, and you've still got issues with your trailer. Wouldn't you've got your trailer sorted as well, so you can get the tow the boat away. So he's talking about compass, windscreen wipers, new life rings. It's got a new full cover, which we just discussed at the beginning. Sitting on a twin axle trailer suitable for launching. Changes of health is the reason he's selling. It's a great angler boat or family cruiser. Boat is sitting on its trailer ready to launch. Boat anti-fouled a week ago as well. Any questions, please ask. No silly offers. This is one of the Orkney's biggest boats. It's worth every penny. Not often found for sale. Sensible offers considered. Possible swap for a 590 or similar on a trailer. Happy to help organise transport or FOC. We'll get boat back down to the nearest boatyard. G-Week. Boatyard top of the Helford. Okay. Drop by 1,000. Taking a good look at the trailer. So I've dropped the price by 1,000 after taking a good look at the trailer and deciding the brakes need sorting out. If you don't want the trailer, we'll drop another few hundred. Well, I'd say your trailer's worth a little bit more than that. Yeah, so it doesn't sound too bad. So all in all, you just have to, you have to weigh up these items and just you put them all together, and you got to sort of say to yourself, is it worth the money? You want to hear the engine running. If you like the owner and you can tell he's a genuine sort of person. You just have to sort of weigh it up. But I mean, that isn't a bad buy. It's a sort of boat which wants to be in a marina. Really, it's a bit too heavy for a trailer boat, personally, if you ask me. That's a lot of work. A lot of extra hassle. That'd be a lot nicer in a marina, sitting there as a turnkey package. And you just have to sort of weigh it all up, really. But all in all, that one there, that is not too bad. So another good one here. Funny enough, this is exactly the same hull as the boat I was just talking about. This is up for sale in Cumbria. He wants quite a lot of money for it. He wants, I think, he wants about 8,000 more, and it's a very similar age, just a few years apart. It has been upgraded with a newer engine, so it's a stern drive. So it's got a newish, it's got a Volvo stern drive, 140 horsepower, 2014, which has only done 150 hours. So it's a real good setup. So that's a good comparison from the previous one, which was done at 850 hours. And you can see the money difference in engine. That's why it's important to get that other one, the engine checked out. They are selling, this one's at Lake Windermere, and they're selling this one with because he ain't got the time. The stern drive ram is leaking and needs new seals, so I don't think that's a big job. But still, when you're buying a boat, you expect it to be all sorted. But at least he's been upfront about that, and you never know people's circumstances. They might not have the time; they might be too busy. So you have to weigh it all up. So yeah, all in all, that's a Volvo, and I'm not sure if that's a D3. So it's got to be diesel, I suppose. And he's saying, he would take a part exchange for something. So he's anti-fouled as well. It's got GPS, fish finder, all those sort of things. And it was an ex-survey boat, apparently. So that'd be interesting asking about that. Trailer does look in good condition. It doesn't actually say whether the trailer is part of the deal. I would assume so. He's talking about delivery at cost, so I think you get the trailer as well, tandem trailer as well. It looks in quite good condition, so they're good things. It's got a cover, it's a good thing there. And obviously, you want to meet with the guys who are selling that, and if they're sort of, if they're good people, and obviously never always if you're going to buy something like this and part with that sort of money, make sure the product is real. Don't just buy offline, for Christ's sake. Go and visit, even if it's the other end of the country. It's got to be real. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't get duped into to things, and you've got to inspect it. You really have. But that is quite a good one there. Like I say, it's the same hull as the other one. It's just got a different sort of canopy on the other one. About the same year build, nearest down it, but you can see the differences in it in engine, where you could buy an old package and it'll be okay, but eventually it's going to need replacing, and it's going to cost you a fortune. So I'm not being funny. This is actually probably a better deal. Paying 22,000 for one like this is a better deal than paying 14,000, 15. I think it was 15,000 for one, which is it's going to cost you a lot, maybe in a few years' time to replace the engine. But it just depends what money you've got and your circumstances, really, and having the time to use them, obviously. But that's another good deal. And the Orkney is a good boat. It's a very sort of but back then they were well built, heavy layup, good sea boat, and like I say, if it doesn't work out after 2 or 3 years, they have a good sell-on price as well. So you're only really putting your money into another item, and you're not losing your money. And but yeah, it's a nice little boat, that. So another one here. This is the Arvor 23, I think it is. AS 2009. So it's I think 14 years old now. But yes, looks in good condition there. Good trailer, and this is a lot more money. This is 33,000. This one here, and it's got a Cummins QSD 2 litre, 970 hours since new. Right, so you weigh it all up. You look at a similar sized boat to the one I've just been discussing, and he wants an extra 10 grand for it. Okay, so it's a good sort of 5 or 6 years newer, and it's a 2 litre. So I'm just trying to think what 2 litre is in horsepower. It's going to be a similar size sort of engine. And yeah, that would be interesting. Anyway, so we'll go into that a little bit more. So it talks about, it's got hydraulic steering, it's got a load of electronics with it, all singing, all dancing. It's got a bow thruster. They're saying it's in first class condition. Comes with all the Arvor fittings. It's been well looked after since he brought her. Engine belts changed when required using genuine parts supplied by somebody at Arvor Parts. Anodes changed, I hope so. Non-slip deck applied. Lumar, windlass. Right. So he says he's upgraded and replaced a lot on this boat over the years. Far too much to itemise here. Full 4-page list will be supplied upon request by email. She's been polished and 2 full coats of International Red 350 anti-fouling applied. So it looks like someone who's loved the boat. New batteries fully charged. Fuel tanks 135 litres is full to the neck. Oh, so you got a load of fuel there with it. So that's not very good for towing though, if you've got a lot of fuel in it. But I suppose if you're launching it, you've got to fill it all up anyway. But all ready for the season. Boat is sitting on a top quality Indiscretion Big Dipper 4 twin axle trailer, which has never been in the water. So they're saying that trailer has never been in the water. Right, okay. Boat always lifted by crane. Okay. So he's out at a boatyard or something. The trailer is full spec package, spare wheel and bracket bearing, so you can certainly tow it well on that. Tow anywhere trailer in excellent present prices north of 7k, selling as one unit, not with split trailer boat. So what's that? So let's say that again. So triple lock system. So it says okay. Spare wheel bracket bearing, flush kit, bearing savers, the Indiscretion triple lock system, and a full lighting kit with lighting board is a tow anywhere trailer in excellent condition. Present price is north of 7k. Selling as one unit, or not split trailer / boat. Right, okay, so the trailer comes with it by the sounds of it for 33k. This is a very tidy, well-maintained, proven sealer that will give you a lot of pleasure. I've used her for family trips and rod fishing. Genuine inquiries only, please. She's out of the water at present, stored inside a dry shed until early April. Can be viewed any type of suit as both. So that's one which has been loved, and it's a lot of money. The bottom end of this market here, I can find one which is the first boat, which is about £15,000. So it's less than half of what you're paying here. This is like a top end version of it with a really decent trailer. The engine here has done quite a lot of hours. in when you think about it. And straight away, the second boat I reviewed, which is the same sort of hull, that's done 150 hours diesel stern drive. So for me, that's the best deal. These are nice boats, but they'd be as fast as each other. They're all as quick as each other. They're all semi-displacement hulls. And just looking at the photographs, I've noticed when you go inside and you look at the photographs of this boat in particular, the engine compartment is absolutely immaculate. And it's true in what he's saying. He's absolutely sort of, he's had the time to keep it nice. So it's whether he might be an old guy who's retired where he's got the time to polish it, and just put the hours into it. But a lot of boats you look at, they just sort of left on the water at the marina. They got gunk all over them. There's all weed on the hull. The engine room's all sooty, and do you know what I'm saying? There's fish guts everywhere on the deck. Do you know what I'm saying? Where someone's he's using it at the weekends and he's rushing off to work. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like you get two different sort of sides to it, really. But it's always nice to sort of buy something well maintained. But so that's just one for comparison there. So this is another boat. It's slightly smaller, just 2 or 3 feet smaller, but it's a nice little boat. Does exactly the same thing. So it's in the same sort of price band. This is 2004, same sort of age, all that sort of stuff. So 6 meters long. It's got an inboard Mercruiser, 1.7 litre Alpha diesel. Garmin, it's got all the electronics. Window wiper, toilet and cabin, build system, washdown pump and hose, stainless fuel tank, 2 times 12 volt battery with an isolation switch and wiring, twin axle, indispension trailer. Trailer has just had all new bearings, liners and brakes in the 4 hubs and 4 times new brake cable also. So yeah, this is a nice little boat. I'll be honest with you, I don't know too much about the Mercruiser engine there. It's diesel. I'm sure it'd be okay. It's a nice little package. It's a nice little boat. And it's semi-displacement, and so if you wanted something that's got a good trailer, relatively good trailer there, despite 2004, obviously you want to inspect it, but it sounds like he's given it. So this is a complete contrast to the way somebody's prepared to flick the gear on, not quite, with the trailer checked out, and and there's where one person who's actually he's just literally fixed it all up so it can be taken away. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's a sign that that's a good owner. He doesn't mention how many hours his engine has done. So sometimes there should usually be an engine hour monitor on the control panel. There's something which tells you, how many hours it's done. Sometimes they do pack up, and customers, they don't actually, they don't actually know the engine hours. But you can get it tested out in a mechanics, if you can, to identify, the condition and age and all those sort of stuff, and how many hours it's sort of done, and those sort of things. You can take it to those levels. So I'm just trying to think what happened when I brought my first boat. I think it had 120 hours on it. It was 115 horsepower. It had 120 hours on it, and it was sort of it worked out like that really. And so this is another sort of boat in a similar sort of mould, slightly smaller, so it might be easier to sort of launch and retrieve. It's still quite a heavy boat. I think optimally, it just depends what you want. These sort of boats I'm looking at, for me, if that was me, I'd have them in a marina. I'd have them on the water. If you want something you want to take in and out of water all the time, you're looking at something 16 to 18 feet, 17 feet, something like that, which is a lot lighter. There's ones on the market which are 15 foot long, and they'd be even easier to launch and retrieve. You just want to be out in the water for an afternoon or an evening. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the sort of way I would sort of see it. But obviously, you're going to need a trailer to sort of, get your boat about. You can sort of, get a sort of a delivery service, pay for a boat delivery service where they would put it on the back of a lorry and take it, from one end of the country to the next. That is a little bit expensive, but it's just something you just have to pay as part of it. If you don't want to go down there, pick it up and tow it all the way back. I have done that myself, and it can be, if it's one length of the country to the other, it can be a real, sort of hassle. But if that's the cheapest way you can do it, and you got the time and you're keen, then fair enough. But it might be better to look at a boat haulage company who will do all that for you. They'll just drive, pick it up, take it to the marina you want, drop it off, in the water it goes. Do you know what I'm saying? So it might be, if you're buying it from a boat dealer, he might be able to deliver it for you himself and launch it all for you. So there's certain things that can be done. Right, okay, let's go on to the next one. Right, another one here. I didn't actually notice this at first, but it's actually got 3 wheels. So it's not a tandem 2, it's not a quadruple, it's like a treble something or other, whatever it is. So yeah, so obviously that wouldn't usually be designed for that. A boat of this size, it's 6 meters and 15. So for me, that trailer didn't actually sort of belong to it. But hey, that doesn't matter as long as it's all fully operational and it's good and perfect, But so okay, so it's got a Mercury EFI 4-stroke, 60 horsepower with 370 hours. So that is a 615 boat. So that's actually quite a small engine for a boat like that. 115 would be better on there. But that's not to say that's horrendous. But, he's asking 15,500, and I think he wants extra for the trailer. So he's actually asking quite a lot of money. So 370 hours, you could argue that's not a lot, but for me, that feels like it is. But if the engine is 10 or 15 years old and he's been going out every weekend, then that all adds up. But so he's got all the electronics, standard horizon, chart plotter, echo sounder, He's got a West Bastu Airtop 2000 hot air heater, right? Hot air, wind generator, V-berth with insert to make large bed, toilet, single hole, ropes, fence, anchor, large amount of engine service history. All paperwork and manuals. Okay. Only the second owner. Last owner had vessel till last year. So he's had it a very short period of time, and he's saying the previous owner is but whether he can back that up or not, or what, do you know what I'm saying? That's just, could be hearsay. So in good condition, just anti-fouled, ready for season, few scuffs on hull. Alright. So that's normal. You do get a few scuffs on hull, usually when that's coming in and out of the water on a trailer boat. But you do need to inspect that hull. Make sure he hasn't hit a rock or something. So it's only 370 hours on engine. Cushions like new, rear seating cushions never needed. Trailer does not go with boat, but can be brought by separate negotiations. 2,800. Just had a new wheel bearings. Also can deliver cost to you. All right. So he wants 15,500, 16,500, 17,500, 18,000 plus delivery cost to me. So for me, looking at that, the full package, 18,000. For me, straight away I say the engine is undersized for that boat, and the other deals are better. If you're paying nearly 19,000, there's other deals out there. So you can see how you can sort of, all the boats, they're all virtually identical. They're all going to be there or thereabouts. Do you know what I'm saying? But it's just picking off what is the best deal. It's usually the engine is the common factor. For me, would make the decision. How good a condition it is, the size of it is, whether it's a 4-stroke. Trailer wants to be in good condition. Boats generally are. But, a good way of checking to see if the boat's been looked after, go and have a look at the engine or the engine room and just sort of see how clean it is. You want someone who's loved it. That's what you want. You're looking to buy it off someone who's give it a bit of love, and I'd say you'd be all right. But okay then, guys, that's the video. It's just, yeah, so, I've been through it twice before. Once I bought bought my first boat privately, and secondly, I brought off a marina. So I've sort of seen sort of two sides of it. And yeah, so I mean, really, it's just a guide just for, to assist you when you are sort of, you just work it out for yourself, really. And you sort of sink or swim, but this is sort of gives you a few tips and things to look for. And it just depends. There's lots of different, this is a sort of particular sort of size of boat and boat type, but you're really going to be going through the same things whatever you do. But I mean, with what we're talking about here, we're talking about £20,000, so it's a lot of money. It's quite a lot of money, and there's better deals out there. So, okay, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe. Good luck with your boat buying, and have a fantastic summer out in the water. I will see you later. Take care.